Boom! Put your hands up, surrender, hello, and welcome everybody to tonight's fantastic Friday dinosaur action on Magic the Gathering Arena, the Explorer format, Pioneer, as it usually is, best of 3. The list, as always, in the description. About to sneeze, pardon me. You can't do multiple takes when it's live, but it is about to get better, I would say. Spoiler-wise, with Aetherdrift, we got one dinosaur, I'm pretty sure, but we're going to get more. And it's going to be a Lord, and I would say my bet is about, 10. I could see us getting 10, maybe even more dinos than that, but just something that cares about a dinosaur. The one of them giving other dinos +1/+1. Oh, it's going to be lovely, hopefully. Of course, it does have 4 power, but yes, very exciting. It's about to get more deadly, especially tonight, as we go through the spoilers as we get them. Just moving things in and out, shifting it around, getting more haste, more aggression, and certainly Surrak and Goreclaw can do that. I tried a bunch of stuff, as you've likely seen. If you're wondering about this list, though, I always play it. I always play dinosaurs, and there's a primer as well. But a link to that in the description, and the Discord too, if you want to even further in-depth discussion. But Surrak and Goreclaw, okay, that's what I'm doing tonight. I've used it before. I've used a lot of things before that give haste to everybody, give haste to one creature. There was a lot of situations, at least today and yesterday, where if only I had more haste, I would win. I would get the job done. And this is a fantastic option for that. If Surrak and Goreclaw is put onto the battlefield with the namesake Ghalta, Stampede Tyrant, everybody gets haste, everybody's bigger and better. They may lose trample, unfortunately, if the opponent kills Surrak and Goreclaw, but by that point, it's too late, because every creature that Surrak and Goreclaw sees when it triggers, it's all separate, and that is going to be quite fantastic. And every non-token creature gets a little bit bigger. That little bit of extra damage could potentially make the difference, although for the most part, it is going to be
ruthless aggression.
Deadly ruthless aggression. It's probably going to be enough damage, but it's the haste. It's everybody getting bigger, which again we will get with that Dinosaur Lord from Aetherdrift. But yeah, so hopefully everybody had a good week. If by chance it wasn't super good, it wasn't the hottest week ever, it's cold here, we're going to have a very, very good time, even if it is a little bit painful. I faced 2 mono red aggro back to back, and in both game ones they went first. This particular way to play dinosaurs is, well, it's not that great against aggro yet, but we have been talking about options. I've tried all kinds of different stuff. Sometimes aggro just is very, very uncommon. Oftentimes it is, well, usually found in best of 1, where an opponent doesn't have a sideboard and they can't adapt to that fast plan, bringing in potentially a lot of single target removal or sweepers from the sideboard, and then some sort of aggro strategy just completely crumbles usually. But yeah, sideboard wise, Tranquil Frillback, just have it in. I think the algorithm, it dealt me the pain of a few aggro matchups, and I don't think we're going to see it tonight. The main plan is just to not face it. It's pretty straightforward, pretty easy right there. So yeah, some graveyard hates. We're going to see more Greasefang as I think the spoilers for Aetherdrift ramp up. I've lost count of how many vehicles have been spoiled. Some kind of crazy ones. Again, I'm really only focused on the dinosaurs that we're going to get. I was pleasantly surprised that we were going to get any. But my oh my. Okay. Wiltleaf Liege again. Will I continue to always keep this in? Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. There is still quite a bit of discard going around, that's for sure, but for whatever reason, that day or those 2 days where I was facing it a lot, tapered off, it goes in waves, and wow, keeps things interesting. You never know what you're going to face, that's for sure, but otherwise I say we jump right into it. If by chance you have a question, a suggestion, you're wondering about something specific here, you could leave a comment, join the Discord. If you think I should try something, or if you think something would be better than what I'm doing right now, don't worry. Suggest it away. Even though I've played this likely more than anybody on the planet, I'm still absolutely open to whatever you want me to try, and chances are I have tried it before. Fishnabubu. Ooh. I think it's going to be mono. Well, no. Yorion Sky Nomad does indicate potentially 5-color. Oh, okay. Well, 5-color something. Leyline of Sanctity is dead and useless for the opponent, because I'm not going to be targeting them. I would sometimes use Leyline of Sanctity myself. Quite fantastic. Oh, okay. 5-color. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting when likely the opponent dies. Just top decking that second Sunken is... their chances might have sunken. Now, keep in mind, we have a Castle Garenbrig coming up likely pretty soon. The first of 4 Castle Garenbrigs. I've seen 4 on the bottom. I've seen a quarter of my deck so far. So there's a very good chance. Or a Sylvan Scrying. I didn't send a Sylvan Scrying or an Archdruid to the bottom, so some of those are coming up. Enigmatic Incarnation is... Well, this is rough. Hopefully it's not Elish Norn, Mother of Machine. Okay, good. Good. Pterosaurus, how's it going, dude? Hey, that's alright. Definitely, if you need sleep, you do what you gotta do. And you can catch it later on if you so choose. Of course, there will be the chapters, as there always is. And maybe I just put you to sleep as well, as I sometimes do with my soothing voice, even if things are not going well. It's like a dinosaur ASMR. This deck doesn't seem too hard to beat. 5-color Overlord enchantments, a little bit different stuff, kind of with Enigmatic Incarnation. We could draw a Castle Garenbrig next turn and kill them. Just wait. They might be about to die, which is an absolutely fantastic thing, as long as they don't get a Thoughtseize. Okay, good. I like it. You still might die coming up. Oh. Okay, all right. Let's cross the fingers.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
Okay. The Carnage Tyrant, yeah. Maybe that's going to be okay. If I can block Overlord. Live just a little bit. We'll find out. Tense. Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to be left with 3, possibly 2. Oh boy. Oh no. This is intense, I must say. Overlord of the Flood Pits, not too bad. Now cross your fingers they don't get Elish Norn, Mother of Machines. That would be rough. Turning off all enter the battlefield effects is not a pretty sight. As long as we live and can play Ghalta next turn, they die. That's what it's all about. Oh, you think you're safe. Spend that mana. Oh, good. Nothing too big. Overlord of the Flood Pits does have a... Oh, never mind. Yeah, that's dumb. Well, they were about to die. They got very fortunate there, but they're gonna be smoked. Absolutely smoked. Surrak and Goreclaw, we'll trim that again. The 4 spots that Surrak and Goreclaw are taking up, that's kind of the extra-ish spot. A little bit more aggression, bigger body. But definitely, if I had to choose the space that Surrak and Goreclaw is, it would more often than not be something. Be a big body. They're going to return to nature. They're going to return to dust, grinding them into it. Okay, well, we got to keep something at some point. That went downhill pretty darn quick, unfortunately. I send Tyrranax Rex to the bottom, mostly because Leyline Binding is likely going to be, well, able to exile it. We'll grab Ghalta's Stampede Tyrant, and I mean, this would be the best. Yeah, well, hey, look, we got a Castle Garenbrig. If I recover, and I could, for some of you watching right now, maybe you're not watching because it's gone so downhill, you've switched to something else. But if you are still watching, I've gotten out of worse. This might be the worst yet, but we're not done for completely. We do have a Back to Nature right there. That's lovely stuff. Taking out their enchantments. Watch them play. Oh, we wait for Enigmatic Incarnation, of course. Hopefully no Thoughtseize. But we could cripple them quite a bit. Quite a bit. That's not too bad. They just got Yorion. Don't exactly need Palani's Hatcher, but play Enigmatic Incarnation this turn. Do it. You know you want to. Oh, nope. Oh. Too late. Not today. Not today. Is that going to save us? Is it going to buy enough time? It's really hard to say. But you never know. Oh. Just an Overlord, perhaps? Bring to Light is certainly pretty rough. What's it going to be? Tibbo Cosmic Imposter, that's kind of, well, I mean, they are in a commanding position. They didn't need to play Unmoored Ego or something like that. They could have exiled Ghalta from my hand, that sort of thing, but we're still continually stuck on 3 lands. That is rough by this point, that's for sure. I would have hoped to see a Sunken, a Sylvan Scrying, or an Archdruid's Charm. Pretty much want to see something next turn. I mean, it's going to be coming up, but of course it is almost certainly too far gone at this point. Oh, that's not good. I mean, we got a couple turns here. Oh, my. Nah, it's not going to work. Stomping Ground. They got Stomping Ground. Actually, I think that's their own Stomping Ground. They took Commune with Dinosaurs from the top of my library, which likely at this point would have dug 5 deep, and well, we hadn't seen a land for a little bit, so there was a pretty good chance that a land was going to be in the top 5. Oh my. We'll cover, as we always do. If I was turned off by one unfortunate, painful match, I would not have lasted this long, that's for sure. Yeah. And of course it is fun, at least I find it fun, to test the absolutely worst scenarios. What can happen? How could you recover? What might be good? Should you mulligan? Should you not? Try it again and again and again, and just see all kinds of crazy stuff. I think it's good to experience a wide range of pain. Once I get a Stomping Ground in. Yeah, Stomping Ground in a forest. With those 4 lands, I'm making 7. We're in heaven, but not so much against potentially Selesnya Taxes or Selesnya Hatebirds. Either this or Angels, we might as well pack it in as well. Oh boy. What you got? Even Interrupter. Nuts. Oh yeah. You got that. You got that lovely Aven Interrupter in your hand, don't ya? Gee, I wonder what you're gonna do. Oh boy. Man, what kind of deck is this opponent playing? I don't know what card they're about to cast. We'll get it burnt on T-Rex. You'll see. Oh, man. They played the Aven Interrupter. Whoever would have seen that coming? Well, we'll get Vaultborn Tyrant. Collect a company or a second one. This is the absolute garbage nonsense of this particular deck. Fortunately, it's not that common. Maybe I get to play Vaultborn this turn. Probably not. Okay, no, that's pretty good. Of course, I could just flash in a whole bunch of stuff, and I could still play T-Rex. That's good too. We hope they don't get another Aven Interrupter. That's not the worst thing in the world. I'm just glad I got Tyrranax Rex down. Gaining 3 more life, I think we should be able to stabilize a little bit. Oh, Pterosaurus. You've been away for quite some time, and fortunately so, because there we got Ghalta. Good. Hold on a second, folks. Hold on a second. But, yeah, I would say it's, oftentimes it's quite a bit of BS. Painful stuff. But yeah, Aven Interrupter from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. They can play it at instant speed, flash, and when it enters, exile a spell, all that stuff. Never a fun time. We'll try for Ghalta, even though I bet they got something up their sleeve. Number 3. Don't be Aven Interrupter. Don't do it. Oh boy. Don't have a third one. Oh yeah. Werefox Bodyguard, not the worst thing in the world. I mean, it is bad. They get rid of Vaultborn Tyrant. And it would have been nice if Surrak and Goreclaw was still in my hand. Everybody would have gotten haste and all that good stuff. I have to imagine we're still dead. If they only didn't get the Werefox Bodyguard, I would have gained a ton of life. A pretty good chance would have been able to stabilize and make the magic happen for sure. Is this going to be enough to live? No, it is. Still, doesn't matter. But yeah, that's just how it goes. I try to play something and they stop it with a creature, and then they attack next turn and they play another copy of that same creature to continue to do that. Well, it's not the first time I've played against it. And sometimes they do run out of answers, but it is, of course, hard to stay positive in those situations. The only deck I should have to worry about, stopping my spells on the stack, they don't even get to resolve, should be an actual control deck with the counter spells, that sort of thing. Oh well. What can you do? Well, they got pretty fortunate. They threw everything at me and they almost got decimated. Yeah. Something crazy to contend with, though. Yeah, well, it will get better. It will get better. And even, I'm being dealt the pain tonight in this moment. Everybody has that. I'm going to keep it because I don't feel like mulliganing and being down at least one less card. We have a Sylvan Scrying, which that is going to grab Castle Garenbrig. Hopefully a Sunken, or, hey, look, a Sunken on top, which is extra good for us. Now, technically, I should use Sylvan Scrying right now for Castle Garenbrig. We're going to do it just in case, they got Aven Interrupter. It could exile Sylvan Scrying, and then I slow me down too much. Never fun. Now, I'm going to get to 7 for Vaultborn, which is pretty good. Quite nice indeed. Spellbinder certainly taxing Vaultborn Tyrant, unless they know how to do math, which maybe they don't. They might make the mistake and choose something other than Vault. Okay. Oh, Surrak and Goreclaw might as well. Oh, gee. It's going to be temporarily exiled by Werefox Bodyguard. Whoever would have guessed. Or some piece of removal, of course. Huh, maybe not. You never know. Yeah, surprise, Castle Garenbrig. I made 6 green for a creature with 4 lands. Lovely, lovely stuff. Oh boy, here goes nothing. Aven Interrupter. Oh my goodness, it's the Aven Interrupter. The nonsense interrupter. I'm just happy I have Surrak and Goreclaw. You're going to run out at some point, buddy. It is nice to start connecting with a decent chunk of damage right there. Oh no. I'm going to try for a Vaultborn Tyrant. Leyline Binding, absolutely. Pterosaurus, absolutely. Huh, maybe they have some sort of removal. It doesn't appear to be the case, though. They haven't played anything. They haven't killed much of anything. I think we still should be pretty good, aggression-wise. Of course, everybody dies to a pretty swift breeze. As you can see, most of their toughness is 2 or less. There are a couple creatures that are above that, but a good old Pyroclasm can really bring the pain. Huh. Yeah, it is a little bit problematic that they continue to exile. But we'll certainly get that Carnage Tyrant down. Hopefully get a Regisaur Alpha as well, which I'm pretty sure we're able to play. Yeah. Good. I think they're about dead.
Ruthless aggression.
You won! You did it!
Oh, I bashed that BS. Ooh. Okay. Extra satisfying, absolutely. Is it the most satisfying win? Of course, that is hard to say when you play something uncommon that can be painfully beat, roughly beat. I don't know. There's a few. If winning against aggro, when they take you down to 2, winning against this particular deck, it's at the top of satisfaction for me. But switch it up. Nothing much that would help. And now, a Weathered Runestone could stop Collected Company for sure. But that's only 4 cards in the deck. I don't think Weathered Runestone stops it as much as I want. If it stopped more of the deck's overall strategy, I'd definitely probably consider it. It looks like a good hand though. Sunken Citadel, fantastically, hopefully grabbing Castle Garenbrig. I don't think there's a red version of Archdruid's Charm. Pretty sure there isn't. But Commune with Dinosaurs, hey, look, Castle Garenbrig. We might not have gotten that Castle Garenbrig if I had played Sunken first. Possibly they could have gone, you know what, Aven Interrupter. That would have been painful. Okay, probably stopping this, I have to imagine. They're not stopping it. Huh, let me think. I'm going to get another Carnage Tyrant. At the moment, I'm going to get 1 Carnage Tyrant. I would reach 7 mana. I only need 1 more land, that sort of thing. It looks like they're taxing Carnage Tyrant there, unfortunately. They know I'm about to play it. Or it could be Ghalta. They want to stop me from, getting to it. That's okay. We got 3 more coming up. Don't you worry. But Ghalta costing a total of 10 is not so fun. We really do need a Vaultborn Tyrant at this rate, and I have to imagine they will play some other creatures or just Aven Interrupter, and then we just lose. That's how it goes. Yep, literally nothing. We lost on the spot. I don't know. That's how she goes. Hopefully I face my lovely Azorius Control. my favorite matchup of all, but on to the next one. On to the next one. Yeah, it is that's a good deck. Hard for a lot of people to face, that's for sure. There is one specific card. Actually, there's a couple things. If you stop creatures from triggering abilities when they enter the battlefield, it basically turns off that entire deck. Most of their creatures have something that happens when they enter the Aven Interrupter. When it enters, they exile one of my things, and then I have to play it on another turn. If that is stopped, I mean, it's just a dinky little flying bird. That's where it comes from, the name. I call it Hatebirds, just because of that darn Aven Interrupter. I'm shocking myself with the Stomping Ground just so I potentially have 3 green next turn if I draw an Archdruid's Charm. We got a Neoform, Abhorrent Oculus. Possibly. I think there's a pretty good chance of that happening. Hard to say. They got some sort of shenanigans up their sleeve, though. Okay. Abhorrent Oculus is, certainly pretty rough. I mean, we're not dead yet. Eventually we will get to Vaultborn Tyrant, which is lovely stuff. I could play Surrak and Goreclaw, but Fading Hope would bounce whoever. At least they can't bounce Carnage Tyrant. Now, is Vaultborn Tyrant next turn going to be enough to save us? They will possibly bounce it. That's no fun. Huh, they didn't play anything. Odd. Quite odd. Well, I'm going Vaultborn Tyrant. I want to draw into Ghalta ASAP. That's definitely getting bounced. Commune with Dinosaurs is going to go a long way to get us there. Yeah, we'll trade. You'll get it back. Oh, Tamio's safekeeping. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. I'm just happy we're at 20. I hope they don't get another Abhorrent Oculus, but Ghalta could be coming up next turn. A Death. Death could be coming up for the opponent. Let's see here. Ghalta. Let's do it. Soon. No, not quite yet. You know what? I'm going to go with Commune with Dinosaurs. See what we got going on. Oh, there's the Ghalta. Okay, next turn. Good stuff. Surrak and Goreclaw, certainly. They're going to bounce Vaultborn Tyrant. Or counter it, I guess, with Stubborn Denial. Okay, not too bad. Got a body to block. I like it. It's not lethal. Watch out. You got to kill me this turn. Can you do it? Oh boy. Oh, okay. They're just playing another one. That's no fun. Will they be able to stop Ghalta? I don't think so. Alright. They're about to die.
You have no power here.
Good Lord, what is happening in there?
You're dead. You're just dead. A little bit too slow, buddy. Oh, look at that life. Everybody hasty, everybody bigger. Palani's Hatcher is a 6/4 trampler. That's certainly a lot better than a 5/3 not trample. So I gotta say, I like Surrak and Goreclaw in this particular moment. Quite a bit. That's what we're talking about. Ooh, you're gonna bounce one thing. Watch me care. Yeah. You can quit now. we should be safe. I don't see any scenario where they're dealing 20 to us next turn. Oh, nuts. Vaultborn Tyrant is about to die, and I'm about to get another copy of it to gain 3 more life and draw another card. Thanks to the opponents. There isn't another turn, but if there was, yeah, fine. Fine by me. It is a little bit nerve-wracking, though, that darn Oculus. Although Weathered Runestone, that could actually would basically cripple this opponent's entire deck. As an additional cost to cast it, they have to exile cards from their graveyard. Okay. I mean, it would somewhat stop it. Wherever it is, Neoform here. Do they exile Neoform? They exiled it. Okay. So Neoform, they sacrifice a creature. They sacrifice a creature that has a mana value of 2 to find the Oculus with a mana value of 3 from their library. Put it onto the battlefield. Weathered Runestone would stop the Neoform part of this deck. But again, they still could just simply cast it, and all we do. Alright. They do have a little bit of counter spells, but for the most part... we got a pretty much perfect hand. 8 mana with all the lands that I have now. I don't need a single land coming up. Of course, there's probably going to be some, naturally. Thundertrap Trainer, I bet they're going to find a Neoform. Hopefully they don't. A Vaultborn Tyrant next turn, I think. With that Archdruid's Charm. Good. I'm liking the looks of this. Maybe. No, I will only draw lands. It is nice to have Palani's Hatch. We got a couple more turns here. It's going to be a little bit rough. Now, of course, they could have a counter spell. We're just going off with Archdruid's Charm. Pretty simple. Pretty straightforward, I would say. We hope they don't counter Vaultborn Tyrant. Of course, I do need a Cavern of Souls, but... play Vaultborn next turn, gain some life. Is it going to be too slow, too little, too late? 6 damage from the abhorrent Oculus, and well, 2 with the face down card is... it's not fun. It's not fun. That's a pretty decent clock. Do have to see Ghalta pretty soon to have a hope. I imagine they might just bounce it as well. Ghalta? Huh? No, that's not Ghalta. We're not dead. Okay. Certainly don't need Stomping Grounds. I might like Cavern of Souls with Sylvan Scrying, but again, it may not matter. Oh boy, Ghalta, you can do it. We could Ghalta next turn, we win, we don't, and we'll see. Ghalta off the top, let's go. Well, that's not Ghalta off the top, so that is going to do it. Yeah. Now, one more time. Again, Weathered Runestone stopping the Neoform. Does it stop this deck enough? Oh. But this deck has been gaining in popularity. It is nice that Weathered Runestone can shut down part of it. It's in there for Greasefang. I don't want vehicles cheated out of the graveyard, and Greasefang is only going to get more popular with all those vehicles from Aetherdrift. Nice to have a little bit of graveyard hate, or at least something where the opponent can't cheat out too much. I think that's definitely it. I mean, Regisaur Alpha to the bottom. I got to keep both communes, Sylvan, Vaultborn, Ghalta 100%. Oh boy. I was hoping for a land for the turn. Oh, hey, we got a castle. I like a Castle Garenbrig. Love it. Now, next turn, hopefully. No counter on Sylvan Scrying. Of course, I do expect that to happen. Let's see. You never know. Might not. Okay, that's good. That's good. Hopefully not on the Sylvan here, but still. Okay, I'm liking our chances here, folks. This is feeling all right. Now, of course, I do expect them to... Well, I don't know, maybe not. I'm getting actually kind of excited about our chances. Oh, another Sunken. We don't exactly need it, but... If I happen to draw land next turn that entered untapped, I could stick Ghalta and the opponent would die at that point. Ghalta puts another Ghalta out with Surrak and Vaultborns. It's going a little bit downhill. Oh my goodness, folks. Are they about to die? I think so. Can't counter it. Good job, counter. Oh. No, no, no. Oh. Dead. Oh. Oh, yes, please. Oh, wow. That is what I'm talking about.
But you can't do this to me.
You know how much I sacrificed?
You're dead. Oh, and Palani's in a tear. Yes, please. Oh, it is Pterosaurus. Absolutely. Nuts. Man, that's what it's all about. Phew. Phew. Of course, I would have hoped to be in Mythic at this point. A comparable time as December. That was my best month ever. I guess I just haven't really grinded... Pardon me, I just haven't really grinded the ladder too much this month. I know what I'm doing. I'll get there once again. And, yeah, we'll keep the pain train going. But Mr. Bean, there's a lot of good clips, for sure. A bunch that you haven't seen yet. When the opponent has counter spells. Also this one.
No.
I don't know. Maybe that's the best one for counter spells. Because it is no. Or what? I should have used this one against that Selesnya Hatebirds. You know, the Aven Interrupter there.
This is a load of barnacles.
But this hand, though, lovely stuff. We see a Sunken Commune, not a Commune, a Commercial District, and a Forest. 3 sources of green with Archdruids to grab Castle Garenbrig, although we're dead. Dead to Gruul Aggro. I assume we're dead, just again, because it is a very aggressive deck, and the Goblin Bushwhacker, or the Reckless Bushwhacker, it is. It is. Oh, the Heartfire Hero. Huh. Huh, have we ever seen that before? I mean, we're dead-ish. We're going to get close to dead. Commune with Dinosaurs to dig for that Castle Garenbrig, hopefully. That's going to be our saving grace. Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, well, that's what it's going to be. Hopefully, Castle Garenbrig is on top. That would save us. That's not on top. Alright. Cross your fingers. If by chance I top deck a Castle Garenbrig next turn, I play it, Archdruids, then I search for and put a second Sunken out with those 4 lands and make 7. With the Force to have in my hand that I would play the turn after, I would make 8 on turn 4. Hey, that's okay. To each their own. You find enjoyment, however. But yeah, no, there's no winning against this deck. That's how it goes. Tranquil Frillback, maybe. It would really only be played as a creature for 3. I would probably never play it on turn 4. I might not even live till turn 4, but I gotta say, it is a little bit interesting to have faced quite a bit of aggro this evening. Now that could be possibly getting closer to the end of the month. People want to fly up and potentially reach Mythic, so now they're back to spamming some aggressive decks and getting through many matches. Man, that's not going to do it. Oh, that's better. if we're going to win, it would be with a hand that looks something like that. See an Archdruid's Charm, boom. We're reaching 8 on turn 4. Hopefully at least Tyrranax Rex. Or a Vaultborn looky there. 7 on turn 4. Of course, 7 on turn 4 is oftentimes a little bit too slow. I missed the 3 Amigos a little bit. For anybody that's wondering, the 3 Amigos is Otepic Huntmaster, Marauding Raptor, and Drover of the Mighty. Just an absolutely fantastic ramping package. Man, those guys were good. But, of course, being small creatures, any small creature is going to get killed. So I've just come to prefer relying on an efficient, stable way to make a big amount of mana, to get the big stuff down, instead of those small creatures that unfortunately die. And as we're about to unfortunately die here, I'll pump it up. You got the Monstrous Rage. Oh, no Monstrous Rage. Of course, I'm not raging. It is sad, somewhat. Play the Carnage Tyrant and probably watch ourselves die. Of course, if I had a sweeper, things would certainly be a little bit better here. Maybe through some twist of fate we live. Who knows? Maybe they can only take me down to 2 next turn. There's a chance. They're flabbergasted that I was able to play Carnage Tyrant by tapping 3 lands. 2 Sunken Citadels and 1 Castle Garenbrig got me that. But again, we're likely dead coming up here. Too little, too late. I would be surprised if they didn't have a pump spell. Okay, not too bad. That's all right. Block the Bushwhacker. Atarka's Command. Oh no! Oh, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. What's about to happen?
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Huh. Well, looky there. Sometimes I don't need a sweeper. Sometimes I don't need to do anything different. But it is a win against aggro. How often does that specific scenario happen? What is the chances of that happening? I have to imagine is probably pretty loud. Absolutely. They're going to need quite a few ambulances. They're going to be major surgery for all those little creatures that they had out, especially the Heartfire Hero. It's going to be in the hospital for at least a year. Massive recovery right there. But yeah, thoughts and prayers, folks. But again, going back to how often could that happen? Is it going to happen often enough that I get a couple wins here or there by simply just bashing them in? Maybe. Should I do anything different, and should I in some sort of way lean into that plan? Maybe stabilize just a little bit and get those sort of fantastic wins, taking me down to single digits, 2, 3, 4 like it is there. Oh. Charlie, how's it going? Hopefully all is well with you. You joined at a pretty fantastic time, taking down Gruul Aggro. Doesn't always happen twice in a match, but strap yourselves in. Oh boy, that hand should be good. We're looking at 6, turn 4 with the Archdruids. Quite lovely stuff. At the moment, I do have to shock myself with a Stomping Ground if I don't draw another land. That's going to be pretty problematic. Yikes. Yikes indeed. It is nice to see a Regisaur and a Palani's, even just one. This particular deck doesn't have a whole lot in the way of removal. Looks like they mulligan pretty aggressively. Hopefully it's no Bushwhacker. Oh boy. Oh, they got it. I jinxed myself. But we're hit for 6, and they only have 1 card left, so let's not get too excited. I think there's a chance. a slim chance. If I did have some sort of sweeper in that moment, man, that would have been good. That would have been deadly. Oh, Historic is rough, absolutely. Elf decks, oh. Yeah. There's nothing you can really do in those situations. I'd played my second land. That was it. And the opponent had all those creatures out. You can't recover. You just can't. I wasn't even in range of playing a sweeper yet. Pyroclasm I could have played, but yeah, mono white life gain. Giant Cindermaw definitely. Yeah, Giant Cindermaw is my favorite. 2 in a red for a 4/3 trample. Players can't gain life. It's nice to have that 4 power. But also it may be better than Rampaging Ferocidon, which costs the same, has menace, but when a creature enters, its controller gets pinged. So you hurt yourself. Sometimes I've locked myself out. If I played a Rampaging Ferocidon a little bit too early, I go down to 5 or something, and I just simply can't afford to play any other creatures because it would probably kill myself. But Giant Cindermaw, absolutely Giant Cindermaw. 3, okay. It is definitely nice. It is unfortunate that Giant Cindermaw, it turns off Vaultborn Tyrant's life gain, but still at least getting to draw a card. I would say try running 4 Giant Cindermaws. Oh, absolutely Pterosaurus. A mono red dino list including Rampaging and Giant Cindermaw, because why not? You should pretty much never have trouble against any sort of life gain strategy, I imagine. 8 things. I mean, you don't have to run 8, but hey, it's nice to never be caught out, especially if it is something like Historic or some other format where life gain is quite popular. There isn't anything super popular, I think, in Explorer that is based around life gain. Angels is very, very uncommon. Okay. I will have to dip my toe back into Historic at some point, though. Yeah. I do like aggressive strategies for sure. This though, they're definitely my favorite. If I had to choose, of course, anything dinosaur related. Yeah, that's where it's at. Especially with this hand, I think. And now with the Stomping Ground, we will get to 3 green at a very critical moment. However, what could this deck be doing? That's the question. I'm going to grab another Castle Garenbrig just so I'm at 3 green untapped on turn 3. This is... I mean, it's certainly interesting. Jeskai colors, Jeskai Ascendancy. They haven't shown the Dino Lord yet. For anybody that is wondering what we're talking about, there is going to be a Dinosaur Lord, a creature that gives a power boost, a buff to other creatures of a specific type. And we're getting something that gives other dinos +1/+1 with Aetherdrift. In a couple days, we're going to see it. I think it's going to be probably green and red. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. Primeval Titan would be pretty crazy. Primeval Titan would be pretty fun too. Huh. Maybe it's just oh look, you can't exile it. Oh, sorry, bud. Nuts. Take your entire turn off next turn. Maybe this... No, it's probably creativity, transmogrify. Really? Not? Huh. Well, okay. Okay, hold on a second, folks. This might just be a regular Jeskai control, which is fine by me. Absolutely. I already have a Commune with Dinosaurs. I could draw Ghalta Stampede Tyrant next turn. That'd be ideal. Oh my good! I drew her. Well, let's go.
Oh, don't take your eyes off the road, buddy boy.
We good. We coolin'.
We coolin'.
Huh. Oh, Palani's Hatcher. I was hoping I would draw something big. There was quite a few moments today where Ghalta triggered Vaultborn and I just didn't draw anything much. Now keep in mind we haven't won yet. They can have any number of painful things up their sleeve. Possibly they have Settle the Wreckage. We'll find out. Or Wandering. Oh, another Wandering Emperor. Okay. Make them plays the biggest, baddest thing. They could sweep next turn, but potentially I would get another copy of Vaultborn Tyrant. If it is a destroy base sweeper. Okay, this is that particular deck. Volcanic Spite. I'm almost certain it's some sort of creativity something. Transmogrify as well. I don't know. Hard to say. I don't think they have a sweeper because they have those two samurai, but they could be about to creativity and get a lot of pain. Oh, they are. Okay. Well, we haven't lost yet. Of course, Valgavoth, Terror Eater, and the Traxa is quite problematic. Yeah. Ooh. Not so fun. I'm just happy that Palani's Hatcher being 4 toughness. Pardon me, being 4 toughness and out of range of some damage-based removal. Oh, that is where it's at. Do I want... I could take out a Traxa. You know what? Potentially I could take out a Traxa. I'm thinking. Let me think. You know what? I'm going to attack with a bunch of stuff. Let's do it. Ruthless Aggression. If I was able to play Carnage Tyrant plus Archdruid's Charm, I'd definitely do that. Okay. Here goes nothing. Hoping they don't have a counterspell. They do, don't they? Well, we tried. We tried. Counter. It's pretty straightforward. Counter, not counter. Yeah. Oh, they don't have a counter spell. Whoa, okay. Well.
Don't push it. Don't push it, I'll give you a war you won't believe.
Man, this opponent, come on, you gotta do better than Valgavoth, Terror Eater, and a Traxa. Is that the best you can do? Like, that's kindergarten level right there. Yeah, basic. All right. We'll keep it like that. I was very scared they would have a counterspell there. They had 2 mana, a blue and a red. Phew. But I gotta say, hey, Surrak and Goreclaw, I think many of us would admit multiple times tonight, it's been pretty darn helpful. Everybody bigger, hasty, trample. Oh. Keep trying it out. Is it the best version of this type of effect? More haste on everybody? Potentially. Could be. All right. Whew. They must be a little bit flustered there. You would think. They've probably never been hit by this particular deck. They've probably never faced anything like this. I'm going to blow my nose. I'll be back in 1 second, but we'll see. All right. Okay. Commercial district. Lovely stuff. Oh, Commune off the top. Beautiful. Hopefully Sylvan Scrying next turn. It isn't countered. Yeah, let's try it. Hopefully. We did find that sunken now. It has to be sunken. We're going to be aiming for a Cavern of Souls, though. Maybe another sunken. Of course, we'll see what. Pardon me. See what Commune gets. I say we go with Ghalta at this point. We're going to be reaching 6 on turn 4, being able to play Surrak, Vaultborn the turn after that, and then Ghalta the turn after. So it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. Maybe burn something with Surrak. I could have played Cavern of Souls, but its mana wouldn't have been able to be used to make something not be countered. Next turn we can. Vaultborn Tyrant will land. You can see I'm mousing over all the lands. They're like, how did my opponent play this? I love when that happens. Now they could Indomitable Creativity that one fish token. Get somebody big. Good. I would imagine Indomitable Creativity is coming up next turn. Maybe they have 2 mana for a counterspell that is about to not be effective. Okay, good stuff. I might kill him next turn. They can't counter this, they can't counter Ghalta. Oh, this is pretty sweet. Going to attack with all of that. If Surrak and Goreclaw could have been just about anything else, Vaultborn wouldn't have been a little bit bigger, wouldn't have had haste, all of it. Huh. That is, well, it's good. I'm taking out their tokens. They're not going Indomitable Creativity this turn, which means they're about to die coming up. This is, okay. Surrak and Goreclaw. Staying in. Is it the secret magical addition that I should have been using all along? I don't know. Maybe. Hard to tell. They could have something up their sleeve, though. Containment Priest, perhaps. Surprise. Can't counter it. Oh. They toss no more lies towards Ghalta. They rage quit. Oh, one of the best lands in the game. Of course, if you are playing a dinosaur deck or any sort of deck that focuses on a creature type, you might have other creatures not of that type. Sometimes Cavern of Souls might not make as much sense, but at least the way a bunch of us like to play them, the way I like to play them, it's basically all Dinos. So a couple copies of Cavern of Souls definitely makes sense to me. I mean, look right there. Look what it did. Boom. We got the win. An opponent so completely helpless. I guess they need 3 big creatures, not just Valgavoth and the Traxa. But, 11-5. Okay. I think we'll leave it there for tonight. Yep, pretty fantastic overall. Lots of great things to think about. Oh, it is easy. It is easy, Charlie. Yeah, it is a pretty deadly plan. Hopefully, you do find success in Historic or, other extended formats. Timeless, Historic, whatever it is, with the expanded card pool. There is a lot of crazy stuff, more crazy stuff than Explorer, that's for sure, but it is a pretty generally deadly plan. Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe I should talk about card choices. I was thinking about doing that maybe at the start of tonight, or just doing a separate standalone video. If anybody watching right now has a card, you know, they want me to use or they want to ask about, let's set aside a little bit of time. I got time. It is the weekend. Oh, World Souls Rage. I've been killed by that before. You know, X, a red and a green, deals X damage to any target. Could finish opponents. It's how I've been finished before. That particular deck makes a bunch of mana, and they sink enough into X to one-shot you. But you also get to put X lands from your hand and or graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. Very, very interesting. A Skullspore. Oh, one Zakama. I think those are two good suggestions. The Skullspore Nexus especially, but we'll start with the Skullspore. I was actually thinking of, funny enough, using it tonight. Somewhere here. Okay. Skullspore Nexus. Does it hurt to have a single copy? Probably not, I would say. Carnage Tyrant, many of the creatures completely reduce the Skullspore Nexus to only 2 green. Let's say the usual Carnage Tyrant on turn 4. Skullspore Nexus on turn 5 for 2 green. You have enough to pay 2, tap it, double Carnage Tyrant's power to 14. So in a sense, it has hexproof. The opponent can't kill it, but it's like you have 2. You know, who doesn't love having 2 Carnage Tyrants? If you have 1, 2 is definitely better. And then maybe they, I don't know, they make you sacrifice Carnage Tyrant, or you lose it somehow, and then you get the big token. And, of course, anything that dies, basically with this deck, the token is going to be big enough that it should trigger Vaultborn Tyrant there. I would imagine, basically. So that can also be quite nice. That dinosaur doesn't have trample, but you know, you get a little bit back, something big, double a creature's power. If every creature is quite a large size, that is some pretty fantastic value that's gained from the doubling part. If you're doubling a creature with 3 power, it doesn't feel so good. But if you're doubling a creature with 8 power, that's a whole lot better. Absolutely. Oh, doubling trample damage. That's where it's at. 57. I gotta say, 57 is it is pretty enticing. Of course, if you have 1 copy, chances are you're going to be seeing it late game. Maybe you have a decent amount of creatures on the board. You top deck this, you play for 2, and then you double whoever's the biggest. Maybe you double Ghalta, Stampede Tyrant. Yeah, I should try it. I would imagine it's pretty cheap. I don't think it's super duper popular. I should probably pick myself up a copy. I don't even think I have even one in paper, but I do love the art there. I think it is pretty sweet. Yeah, black sacrifice decks. It is painful to lose Carnage Tyrant, I must say. And Tyrranax Rex to Sheoldred's Edict, the classic, probably the most classic sacrificing spell. Instant speed, 1 in the black. Choose target opponent, I believe, or you have to sacrifice a non-token creature, a token creature, or a planeswalker. Yeah, oftentimes that's how black or black splashing decks have killed good old Carnage T. Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be quite as effective for you, Pterosaurus. 1 massive Eldrazi, yeah. I could run the Ulamog. I don't think it's a meme per se, because Ghalta could just put it out. It's a nice big thing. It definitely gets the job done. It locks it up better if maybe your entire plan was only to cheat it out. But this is just the general, efficient, stable way to make a big amount of mana, and then you play a bunch of big stuff ahead of schedule. Sometimes it's going to be a big Eldrazi for sure. Yeah. The Zakama as well. Pardon me. We'll get to Zakama and then we'll get to maybe other big creatures. That could be a theme for sure. I'm also happy that they have the Commander Masters art available on Arena. I mean, the lovely part of Zakama, the entire 6 screen from Castle Garenbrig, all that could go into playing it. Consider you have 2 Sunken Citadels and a Castle Garenbrig. Those 3 lands making 6 screen. Very, very efficient. 3 lands, 6 mana for this. You only need 3 other lands to make the red, the green, and the white. That's not a big hoop to jump through. Could be certainly pretty easy. I could have always a copy of Zakama. Probably the thing I would need to do the least is the white part. You gain 3 life. I think for the most part it would just be the dealing 3 damage to a creature or destroying a artifact or enchantment. It's probably a lot of that artifact or enchantment destruction, but this creature in this particular way to play Dinos is not a crazy thing. Absolutely. Pretty straightforward. Pretty easy. You could cheat it out with Ghalta, but of course you could make the source of white with Cavern of Souls, right? Or Commercial District. You would switch this for whatchamacallit, Jetmir's Garden, the Naya Triome white, red, and green. There you go. And it is still a forest type land as well, so you don't feel the pain of maybe having Castle Garenbrig enter the battlefield untapped. But yeah, absolutely. Not a crazy thing, not a crazy thing. And that is a hard part, and I think it does catch some people off guard, Charlie. It is a cast trigger. Some people might read it, get excited. Oh, when Zakama Primal Calamity enters, they're like, oh, okay, I'll cheat it out with Ghalta, and then I'll untap all my lands. No. They sometimes miss the if you cast it part. That makes for some very perhaps feeling a little bit silly. You want to bash yourself on the head, or you feel like that dino being smacked on the head with the wooden spoon. But yeah, that's how it goes. It could be bad, could be good, but it's not a big hoop to jump through, and it certainly could save you in a lot of cases. But we're going for Eldrazi right now, or anything else big. Is it more on the fun side to do this? Perhaps with the Eldrazi. It's more on the serious side, I would imagine, with Zakama. I would consider it more on the serious side. I don't think I have most of them. Gonna have to go not collected. Of course, in Historic there is more Eldrazi that are available, though. That could work. Yeah, I've tried a little bit before. 4 fogs, other stuff that maybe prevents combat damage. Sometimes I only need to live 1 more turn, as we saw there against that aggro deck. I got down to 4 and I was able to get him. It really is all it takes to a pretty fantastic setup. Maybe I have 2 fogs, I get fortunate, and then that does the trick. I think I should try fog again for sure. Oh, that would be Pterosaurus. Emrakul, the promised end. Whew. Maybe. Pardon me. Maybe one day I'll try it. Cost 1 less for each card type among cards in the graveyard. I don't have many types in my graveyard. It's creatures and maybe the odd instant or sorcery. Sylvan Scrying or Archdruid's Charm. But you cast it, you get... I don't know, I've never really felt that Emrakul was super impactful. Yeah, you do have to cast it. Pretty much whenever an opponent has cast Emrakul, they still don't win. They see all kinds of deadly stuff, and I don't know, I still get to do my thing. I play a lot of big stuff. By the time an opponent gets Emrakul out, chances are it's been quite a few turns. I've started to build up a pretty fantastic hand, and then they reveal my hand. They see death, and they scoop. Sometimes they scoop for sure. Oh, I should think about that. Yeah, I think most Eldrazi, you do have to cast them to do that. Oh, Ulamog. Well, one day, maybe. Huh. But yeah, when you cast it, exile 2 target permanents, exiling 2 lands from the opponent. That is extra deadly. I think some opponents do, or some people playing Ulamog, they just naturally assume you can't exile a land, but you can exile a land, which is pretty sweet. I should try this sometime. I don't know, but you got to admit, Surrak and Goreclaw, if we're comparing this to some big Eldrazi, Surrak and Goreclaw was a more helpful in quite a few situations tonight. We could have not seen it at all tonight, but we did, and it certainly got the job done. More haste, a little bit of trample, tossing an Ulamog Ceaseless Hunger in there. It's not really going to hurt. It is still an overall deadly plan, but with Surrak and Goreclaw, it is just a little bit more deadly. Kozilek, the Great Distortion, a Decimator. Speaking of Eldrazi, this lovely Eldrazi boar, I've wondered about it. When you cast it, creatures you control get +2/+2 and trample. Maybe, but again, you got to think, it's not really an effect I need. Pretty much everything already has trample, it already has haste. It's hard to say. And now the one thing that would be good, Vaultborn Tyrant. Think about it. If I have the original, I use that to sacrifice. It makes a copy of itself because it dies. But I use an original Vaultborn for the emerge cost, and then I only have to pay 2 green, I believe, which would be pretty good. Oh yeah, Charlie. Something to think about. Maybe one day. Also, I have been wondering about the Void Winnower. This does not care about you having to cast it. It just says your opponents can't cast spells with even mana values, so they can never cast a Supreme Verdict. They can never cast Wandering Emperor. They can never cast a lot of stuff. It's pretty darn exciting. And your opponents can't block with creatures with even mana values. No Wrath of God. There's a lot that it stops. Would it stop enough is the question. No Settle the Wreckage. What else? What else is painful? What else? What other big thing do people cast? Possibly it does stop Indomitable Creativity. 3 red and X. 5. It would stop Transmogrify, but a lot of the time I don't think it would stop Indomitable Creativity. If they're targeting 2 creatures, it adds X plus the red. So if X was 2, technically it would have a mana value of 5, which is odd. It would get around this. Oh, Extinction Event. Yep, it stops Extinction Events. That's good. Huh. Maybe I should have this in the sideboard sometime. It seems crazy, but again, Ghalta puts it down and I don't have to worry about a lot of stuff. Ooh. Sheoldred's Edict. Sheoldred's Edict, which we were just talking about, which forces me sometimes to sacrifice Carnage Tyrant. Because it's the first creature I play, they have 2 mana up. But instead, everybody is barfed onto the battlefield, including the Void Winnower. Then all of a sudden, I don't have to worry about their removal. That costs 2. There's a lot of good removal that costs 2. Maybe maybe. It would be pretty hilarious, I must admit. Also, another Eldrazi that I have been thinking about before. Thought Not Seer. I've thought about it before. It's a creature that has 4 power. Would trigger Vaultborn Tyrant when it enters, so it's not a cast trigger. Target opponent reveals their hand. I like gaining information. Sometimes it doesn't matter because I'm just going to kill them, but information is nice. Exile the card. I don't have to worry about it. Maybe, but definitely I gotta try some of these Eldrazi. Maybe not necessarily all of them, but I think at least avoid one more. That's definitely the one I'm leaning towards. World Breaker. Also, the World Breaker could be 7 mana. I can make 8 mana on turn 4 in some cases, so I definitely can make 7 for this. Cast it, exile an artifact, enchantment, or a land. Would World Breaker be a good sideboard option? I could see that being the case, yeah. Yeah, possibly. Pay 3, sacrifice a land, return it to my hand from my graveyard. Oh, that's good. Has reach. Has at least 4 power for Vaultborn Tyrant. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. Maybe. What else is big that I'm thinking about? Pretty much just the Eldrazi, I would say. Yeah. Yeah, still a darn tickle in my throat. Okay. Whew. All right. And maybe we leave it there for now. Maybe I should go get some rest. Hopefully kick this tickle and finally be done with, I don't know, a perpetual sore throat, runny nose. It's like just lingering right at the end. Kind of annoying. It doesn't really bother me too much, but yeah. Oh, planes. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's do planeswalkers. Absolutely. Now, what would be my favorite planeswalker? Probably a Vivian. One of the Vivians. If I had to choose, potentially Vivian Monster's Advocate. 5 mana is a little bit rough. 5 mana for something other than a creature. Well, it's going to be a little bit later to play that. Keep in mind, I can play a creature on turn 4 that costs 6, but I can't play a planeswalker on turn 4 that costs 5. It fits in there pretty good. Play creatures off the top. Sometimes that doesn't really matter. It's not like I'm going to be chaining a whole lot of stuff with this particular Dino deck. You could have a lower curve, more aggressive one, cheaper creatures where you would find more benefit from the, casting stuff off the top. You could chain a lot of stuff, but the -2, that's really what is quite exciting. Ghalta, Stampede Tyrant. Before we cast or we go -2, we search our library for, any creature, as long as it's cheaper, and every creature is cheaper. Maybe search for Surrak and Goreclaw. Give everybody haste. That would be quite nice. Definitely. Something to consider. Maybe a Vaultborn Tyrant. Another copy of Regisaur Alpha if I want haste on everybody. But again, this not exactly right for this particular way to play Dinos. Vivian on the hunt. Probably this. Look at that. The -1. Or the +1, I should say. I only care about having more creatures. After I reach a certain point, I don't want lands. I don't want Sylvan Scrying. I don't want Archdruid's Charm. I don't need it. Once I'm able to make 8 mana, we're good. So the +1 is absolutely amazing. Technically, I look at the top 5 and I put all the creatures into my hand. I get my draw for the turn plus the +1. Hey, there you go. We're set. Absolutely. It definitely could be tricky. Should it be a planeswalker that makes a bit of mana, digs for some lands, digs for that sunken, or possibly that Castle Garenbrig? It could be Vivian Reed. You know, I've used her before. This version of her, the +1, very, very nice. We get one extra thing, but we also dig pretty deep. +1 to look at the top 4, putting a creature or land into our hand, and there you go. I have never gotten to the ultimate with Vivian. Most opponents would quit by that point, you have to imagine. Pardon me. But the +1, if you get into a grindier sort of matchup, it could be quite nice. Sometimes it gets flooded. I don't want to see any more lands, and there's still a pretty big pocket of lands. Turn after turn. Yeah. Vivian Reed, that's pretty good. A Garruk. Nope, that's not how you spell it. I think that... Okay, good. I spelled him right. Garruk, Caller of Beast. Oh, it is a commune. You gotta love it. And in paper, Vivian Reed is pretty darn cheap. You get to possibly take out an artifact or an enchantment or a creature with flying. I think with her -3, which is quite nice. We could take out an Traxa, an opponent's Damping Sphere after they've brought it in game 2 to stop my lands from tapping for multiple mana. That could really get me out of a sticky situation. But this also, is it better than Vivian on the Hunt? Her +1, similar to Garruk's here. Reveal the top 5, put all creatures into my hand. That's what I want. Dig, refill, get more gas, or just simply get to Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. Yeah. Also the -3, putting a creature from my hand onto the battlefield. But again, keep in mind, if I can make 6 for a planeswalker, I can make 8 for a creature. Almost certainly I can make 8 for a creature. Oh yeah, but still the -3 is something to consider. The -7 as well. Again, for most planeswalkers, you never really get to their ultimate. If you get to the ultimate of a planeswalker, it's probably all over anyways, but the -3. I mean, if I have Ghalta in my hand and I could do the -3, I could have probably already played Ghalta the turn previously. If I spend 6 for Garruk and then -3, I might as well just play Ghalta anyways, in which case Garruk simply could be a creature itself, which would be one extra creature that is put out by Ghalta on that same turn. I don't know, it's a lot to think about. The +1, lovely. The -3, maybe. Every single creature is green, so don't have to worry about that. It's not like I'm using usually any sort of mono red dino, mono white. Absolutely. I think for the most part, Garruk, Caller of Beasts, I would usually look at the +1. Would the -3 come into effect too often? I don't know. But if we're mostly looking at the +1, is there something that is maybe a little bit cheaper that does the effect of the +1? Perhaps. I could have Vivian on the Hunt, similar +1 to this, 2 of her, 2 Garruk, Caller of Beasts. Mix and match a little bit. Something to consider for sure. I don't know, what other planeswalkers? I don't use too many. Maybe I should just go to the planeswalker button so we only see them. Something will pique my interest, perhaps. Something I've never tried before, or I tried a long time ago. The Chandras, well, here and there I've tried them. Oh, absolutely. The planeswalker that I play could be so deadly the opponent has to change their focus. Even just playing a planeswalker could buy me one crucial turn. Absolutely. I have won though before with Chandra Awakened Inferno against Azorius Control. This is probably 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure I was streaming. Yeah, the stream could be over 2 years old, which is crazy. It's really hard to search and find stuff when you've done it over like 600 times or so. But you get the idea. You know, it's pretty sweet. But I don't think it's the right thing for this particular deck. It's not like it helps elevate the creatures or achieve something good. It's not like I need to get better against controller. That is pretty much set, I would say. Control feels very, very, very good. Nothing too much else that really jumps out. Domri, Anarch of Bolas can be pretty decent. Definitely. Creatures getting +1/+0 again. The dinosaur tokens made by Palani's Hatcher and Regisaur Alpha to get the 4 power, so possibly triggering Vaultborn Tyrant. A little bit of removal. More counterspell protection is not the worst thing in the world, but it is just... it's such a perfect package. It's not like you make your deck worse by adding this in. Perhaps you do, but just all the things it does, you're going to be pretty darn good. A lot of ruthless aggression with this, especially if you have a bunch of creatures. You're going to see a ton of extra value gained by that buff. Swinging with a 1/1 Dino Egg. Oh, Charlie. I send the 0/1 dinosaur eggs in to send a message, as many of you see, but now the dinosaur eggs themselves, it's like they've been rolling around in the ground and they've strengthened their shell. The dino that laid the egg ate a lot of calcium and that increased the hardness, so they do a little bit more damage. When they run into something, it leaves a pretty nasty dent and sometimes even cracks armor, potentially. But making the dinosaur eggs actually able to deal damage, oh, that would be crazy. Again, Palani's Hatcher is 3 creatures in 1. You get 3 total power from 1 creature. That's a pretty simple example right there for the buff. Could I just add in the Domri, Anarch of Bolas? Maybe instead of Surrak and Goreclaw. Should I have 4 copies? Maybe not. But also maybe yes. A little bit more ramp, more power. Hard to say. Maybe I should try that tomorrow. Or grind with this a bunch tomorrow in the middle of the day. Something to think about. I mean, it's not like it lessens the damage. A little bit it does. More counterspell protection. Hey, if Control already had a hard time, they might as well just see me and turn the other way completely. Completely scoop. Again, not really too many people add 4 copies of a Planeswalker, but not most people. Most people don't play one deck all the time, devoting to one particular creature type. So if anybody is going to do something like 4 copies of a Planeswalker, it's probably going to be me. But again, we could split it up a little bit. Luca, Bound to Ruin, that's another Planeswalker I've used before. The -4. Deal X damage divided as you choose among any number of creatures and or Planeswalkers, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control as you activate that ability. I got creatures with big power. Luca, Bound to Ruin's -4 makes a lot of sense. Big time sense. Do I like it more than Domri? Probably not too much. The ramp is pretty nice with Luca, but there's also ramp with Domri. Where is it? Luca. Keep in mind, Luca's ramp can't be used for Castle Garenbrig, which maybe could factor in. Possibly, but for the most part, I don't think so. Play Luca on turn 4. Go with +1 just to up the loyalty. be sitting at 4, and turn 4 I could maybe have activated Castle Garenbrig, making 6 for a creature. Get to 8. Turn out. Something to think about. A lot to think about. I gotta go into the Planeswalker angle, I think, tomorrow. More ruthless aggression, that's what... okay. Maybe I have to splash for blue. I've never tried it yet. I had some people suggest it, and I have all copies of Oko the Ringleader. Maybe I play Carnage. I don't know. Really getting to the -5 would be good, but at the beginning of combat on my turn, Oko the Ringleader becomes a copy of target creature I control, and it gets hexproof. If he copied Carnage Tyrant, Carnage Tyrant already has hexproof, but maybe I copy another Vaultborn, another T-Rex. Does that make much sense? Maybe not. I am kind of interested in the -5. For each non-land permanent, make a token that's a copy. Ooh, that would be deadly stuff. But again, it's not like Oko helps to really elevate everything else that is happening in the deck. Not like Domri. If you compared Oko the Ringleader to Domri, I think Domri is the pretty clear choice to help out in a better way. Cheaper, a little bit of ramp, more power, removal, counterspell protection. I think it would probably want to build a deck kind of around Oko. Whatever that looks like. I'm not sure what it looks like, but yeah. Anything else though? Not too much. Ugin the Spirit Dragon is pretty expensive. Maybe. Oh, I think if it was something super duper expensive, I would probably have to shy away from a Planeswalker. If it's something expensive in a creature, Ghalta could potentially put it down, or I just get to supercharge and cast it with Castle Garenbrig, perhaps. But I do like a good Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Maybe. The odd time I do get to 8 mana, oftentimes that's not the case. I get 8 separate lands. No, it's not too often. But I should try it. It is very enticing. Ugin the Spirit Dragon is, of course, a pretty darn fantastic package. That's all good. I get caught up in that too. I see something expensive and I'm like, oh wait, no. Creatures. I see a juicy choice that would really help the deck, but at least since Stampede Dinos became a thing, it's been burned into my brain day in, day out. Something looks cool, you could think about it, but for the most part, don't think about it. All creatures, all the time, leaning into the game's plan of activating Castle Garenbrig. Yeah, you can think about stuff that isn't a creature, but it's probably better to add in some creature that does something when it enters. Titan of Industry, that does a pretty cool package. Destroy an artifact or enchantment, make a rhino, put a shield token on something, and something else. Gain 5 life, I'm pretty sure. Titan of Industry, something else to consider too. You gotta go, right? Yes. I should probably go too. That was a pretty good chat, but yes, I'll go now. Take a big bite out of that like button, and yeah. Definitely. I wish you luck. I wish everybody luck, whatever deck you're playing, even if it's something other than Dinos. It's definitely possible, for sure. A lot of things are possible, right? Have good rest of your time zone. Get some good rest wherever it is, whenever it is, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
entertained? Are you not entertained?